All right, we're live. Here we go. So now what we are going to do is we are going to talk about conditional rendering, and then we will also um, look at React icons. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to put an icon somewhere in the car component that will just display um, if this is a favorite or not. Okay, so let's start off by this. Let's talk about what conditional rendering is. uh so about if statements. Okay, and I'm going to stay right here in the card component here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and get this set up underneath the card body. I'm going to do a div, give a class and or class name, uh and I'll say card dash footer. Okay. And what I'll do is we'll look at what this conditional rendering is. What I want to do for right now, just to see how it works, is I want to uh, have a display based on, I guess we could say, what day it is. Okay. Uh, just see if this works. So what I'm going to do up here above my return is I'm going to get the day today. So I'm going to say um, const today is going to get, I'm going to pull from the new date object and say, let's say get day. All right. And let me console.log today and see what it returns. See if this works. It's console. And I'm seeing 2. Okay. So I got the day. Because today, the time that I'm recording this video, it is Tuesday, and the date object, um, well, the has a method called get day, and it returns the index value, if you will, of whatever day of the week it is. Okay, so Sunday has an index value of 0, Monday's 1, Tuesday is 2, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's working right there. Okay, so that's cool. So I got the day, and so what I could do here is I'm just going to do a conditional rendering. Okay, and what I can do with this conditional rendering is I can write a statement that says, "Hey, if the day is," let's do it right here. If I say if, I can say today is equal to 2, um, then let's do this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this above the car component. What I'm gonna do? No, 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 not you. I'm just gonna make a little component up here. I'm gonna say const uh Tuesday. I'll make a little component right here called const Tuesday. And yes, you can write components up in here like so. Const Tuesday is gonna get returned, and I'm just gonna make a little component right here, just a little p element uh, that reads Tuesday, like so. Okay, and so I'm gonna say if today is equal to 2, then return the Tuesday component. And what I also want to do is, well, so this is the logic behind it, rather. I'm saying, hey, if today is equal to 2, then return this Tuesday component. But let's clean this up a little bit, um, because what I can do is, instead of writing this right here, I could just try to move that all the way down here inside the footer like so. And then I could wrap this up in curly braces. Okay. It seems like I'd be able to do that. That's what we would think. Because again, these curly braces say, hey, we're in JavaScript land. So I should be able to write an if statement like so, because this is just vanilla JavaScript. It would seem like that. That's not necessarily the case. When you are going into JSX and you are writing JavaScript, like we are right here, it doesn't work so well. Matter of fact, it doesn't work at all with if statements. What's another way I could write an if statement? Yeah, I could use a ternary operator, exactly. So I can come over here and say, instead, I can say today equal to 2. Okay, then render the Tuesday component, and I can say else no. Let's see, does it like this? And let's see what happens. All right, come over here now. And there you can see, there it is. It works now. Tuesday. Cool. So that's cool. I see that works. And you know what? I just realized that this card footer is outside of the card. Let me move that inside the card. There we go. Much better now. So that works. Okay. And I could even clean this up some more. I can write this a little differently. What I could do is I could say, see if I remember how to do this. I could say today is equal to 2 and Tuesday, like so. And this should still work, and it does. Because what this is saying, again, now I'm using the AND operator, the AND logical operator, which means that both of these things are true. So today is equal to 2, and which is true, and a Tuesday component, which in itself, since I built it, it is true. All right, so let's test and see if it's false. Let's say I make today is equal to 3, in which case this is false. And so I don't have my Tuesday component. So this here is conditional rendering real quick. All right, what you need to know is with conditional rendering, we can't write an if chain. And we really wouldn't want to, not inside JSX. Now, I could do it up here. I could do it above the return. However, inside of my JSX, you don't want to do that, because this JSX is specifically for rendering content. We don't want the logic to necessarily be inside of our JSX. We want our logic to go above the return. Okay, so that we're doing all that logic there, and then after the logic has been performed, which is right here, then we execute and then we render whatever JSX that we want to render. Okay, so that's conditional rendering. You could try this out again, do it several times, do it with other things, but this is just a simple example real quick, just seeing how it works. Okay, so I have now today I'm going to replace that, because what I want to do is I want to say, hey, if the component has if it's a favorite, then I want to render, one component. Otherwise, I want to render something else. Okay. And I wanted to render one of 2 icons. You can find React icons. I simply just did a Google on React-icons. I'll show you. I'm just going to back it up. So I did a Google search on React. That should be icons, not icosin. Silly me. Oh, so I did a Google on React icons. And the one I want is right here, npm React dash icons. I click on that, and I can click on this icon right here for React icons. Oh no, I can't. That's not it. I knew that. I click on the text, excuse me, React icons. So here, React icons, I click on the text and it gives me a list of all these React icons. And so here you can see all of the different sets of icons, so many of them. Let's go to the Bootstrap icons, but since we already are using Bootstrap, I'm going to click on the Bootstrap icons, and here's a list of all of them. And it shows you how we import it. Okay, and this is the template for doing it. Import, and then we destructure and say whatever the icon's name is. And there's a list of all the icons' name from React-icons/BS for Bootstrap. Okay, so I want to do some hearts. You can do a star or whatever else. I want to do hearts. Okay, and this is a list of all the hearts, not just the Bootstrap ones, but a list of all of them. So I'm going to go down and locate the Bootstrap icons, and here I see bootstrap, excuse me, fill suit heart, and then a bootstrap heart. So, I think I want this one, the fill and the heart. So I'm going to click on this icon, and there's the code right there for it. Okay, so all I got to do, it gives me not only the code, but it gives me the component name. Okay, so I'm going to just copy this, and I'm going to remove this Tuesday thing. I don't need that component anymore. I don't need that today anymore, and I don't need this conditional rendering anymore. But I'm going to come above my car component now, and I'm going to import the Bootstrap heart fill. And I'm also going to get the Bootstrap heart. Just going to copy that as well. And I'm going to paste it. All right. And I got that. So if we come back here inside of the component, now what we could do is we could say, hey, let's check is favorite from props to see if this is one of our favorite locations. Okay. And if it is one of our favorite locations, then we'll have the field heart. If it's not, we'll have the other one. Okay. So we can come down here and side of our footer, and we could simply, again, break into JavaScript by using the curly brace. And again, we use a ternary operator. So if you don't fully understand ternary operators, I suggest that you go and just look that up and just practice doing ternary operators. But it is simple once you understand the syntax. Okay, I can say, hey, props dot is favorite, because that is one of my props. Again, if we come back over here to main, we have is favorite. That's going to return either true or false. So I'm saying props dot is favorite. So if it's true, then I want the fill. So I'm going to type in the BS heart fill component. Else, give me the BS heart component. So this should say, hey, I'm looking at props dot favorite is favorite. And if props dot is favorite is true, I'm going to render the field heart component. Else, I'm going to render the empty heart component. And when I come over here and look, oh, we got an issue. Let's see, can I resolve and let's see what the issue is. Oh, that's what the issue is. Haha. Yeah, what we failed to do, or I failed to do, what I forgot is that first things first, before we get those icons, we got to be able to talk to it. And so what we need to do is we need to install React Dash icons. And so here is the line right here is given here in the documentation for installing React Dash icons. So that is going to go back into, we go back into our terminal. Okay. That's the one my server running. I'm going to come back over here and I need to say npm I or install React Dash icons and then dash dash save. And this should install the package that will allow me to use the icons. I hit enter, give it a little bit of time. Give me just a little more time. All right, there we go. So it's installed. I can come over here in my package.json and check and make sure there's React Dash icons. We have installed it. Now when I come back over here, let's look in here. It says Webpack compiled successfully, so meaning the error should be fixed. I come back and there it is right there. I have my favorite locations are filled and the ones that are not listed as favorites have the no fill. So yeah, this is a cool lesson. Again, this is the cool thing about it is we can decide what we want to render based on using conditional rendering. Okay, so that gives us as developers, also gives the user more controls over what gets displayed. So you can think about let's say on say a social media app, and if you favorite a post or say something on Instagram, you can hard it, double tap it, or you can you can actually toggle it, right? Like so. And we could set that up here to where we toggle when we click on the heart. We can actually say, hey, if I click on this component, then it will either favorite or unfavorite. We're not going to do that right now because this is enough for us to chew on for the purpose of this particular lesson. But we could essentially click on the heart and that will either favorite it or unfavorite it, in which case that would mean that we are updating the state, right? And as we update the state, then it's going to render based on, it's going to render component based on that change that was made. So, but this is a good lesson right here. Um, there's a lot that's going on in here. We have, again, use state, we have use effect, we have a data file that is still local but is not inside of the app component. So we needed use effect and to be able to retrieve the data in a clean way. We also looked at conditional rendering, and we also saw how we could use React icons for our applications. So this is pretty much it. Any questions right now? I take that as a no and that I taught perfectly. So I appreciate you all. And that is it. You did it. Congrats.